Donna.
Here.
Georgia.
Here.
Peter. Nicole.
Here.
Oliver is excused. Board present.
Board president with one excuse, we have quorum, invocation. Going.
Вече кашва. Оваева килела чара. Итхачана, вакичу за килела. Но оа шитона инрикла. Апет килела. Вакайжа килена оваева килела тхапи. Уикха. Вакичу за килена итхаша килена. Туктогна ле тхопетек иектек ена. Туктогна маштетек ена. Вакайжа килена чара килена. Ванспел квапик helgana. Lehmete keleče ničana, tako ki oblaka. Oveća renača vašta I oblaka piki. Ječa ti reća piki, vrhajža pilna. Sakata imani, vaša ničana. A petu hena ojati, hena ekipeča. A petu pilna neča. Hena neke hoće ončića. A jem kao na nukiće humpo. Tako kjerna, tako vašta ne vakao kjerpiki. Hena ukičiću pina hekteke učosi u vokić. You should change the chapel. You talk to Oyasa.
You're just pissing it out and sending it our way. See your tear. See your tear.
At this time, I'd like to do a oath of office to Ms. Star Walker Espinoza, the newly elected staff representative. Before you're supposed to issue that, representative, president. Rise. Raise your right hand. The oath of office according to the Code of Ethics, as cited in Article 3, Section 8, Item 4, page 9. New board members and corporate officers shall take the oath of office before assuming their duties as follows. Do you
Star Walk Eagle.
do hereby solemnly swear that you will support and defend the constitutions of the Deletions tribe in the United States of America against all enemies, carry out faithfully, impartially the duties of a board member, cooperate, promote, and protect the best interests of the parents, employees, and students of the SFIS. Vote according to your conscience and hold in trust confidential matters in accordance with the bylaws as shown throughout the Idaho Incorporated.
I do.
Welcome. As with custody, we have feed next giveaway next meeting.
Are you right to help us on to that?
Yeah.
You mark that down, Wendy?
And your sick animals here, the wasps. So.
If anybody beats me, they're gonna steam them to mark me and bees. Spirit animal.
Finally, you have the agenda. Take a look at it. Any additions, deletions? If nothing, entertain a motion for approval.
I'll move.
Georgia moves. Need a second. Nicole, all in favor, motion, raise your hand. 1, 2, 3, 4. Donna?
Yes.
5, opposed, 0, not voting, 0. Motion carried. Also in the packet, you have the minutes. They're also emailed out. I read mine, of course, so.
I'll move to approve those minutes.
Georgia moves for approval. Need a second? Nicole? All in favor of the motion, please raise your hands. 1, 2, 3, 4. Donna? Oh, Donna. Where's Donna? Okay, 401 not voting, 401 for the minutes. Discussion items, student council is excused, employee rep, report, public safety, president report. Anything, Star?
No, just that we held our elections according to our bylaws. But from the past, with Sandra as our certified rep, Carol as our vice president, and our classified rep, we didn't help. No. But we are glad that we are finally at the table to negotiate and see that the pay scale was risen, and that we are now at the table to help with the policies and procedures to help protect the employees' rights and be able to voice our opinions, and see that we finally have due process with the grievance procedures spelled out. But we will meet next month to have our first meeting, and then I'll have a report to give then.
What are your meetings?
We do them once a month, according to our bylaws, and we try to have them in different buildings, but if issues should arise and staff needs some type of support, we ask them to go to, which will now be our, excuse me, our certified rep is Artie Eastman, because Mr. Charles refused, even though he won the vote. Our classified staff is Diane Bordeaux. Our secretary is Mr. Dan Patusin. And our vice president is Philip P.J. Valandra. So normally what I try to do before we have a meeting is take all our policies and procedure manuals in there so that we know how to guide each employee to be, whether they want to vent or what they want to do in a situation. We also have our new chain of command form, and we want to make sure that that's followed, but also that we're given due diligence. We go over that, we go through a little bit of training. If we need any type of other training, then we'll get with Marlene to give us some guidance, as well as HR, business manager, and just having that teamwork.
Donna, first me. Can you read that? It's for the record. Any questions for Star? Anybody?
Congratulations. Thank you.
For me, just to be able to have an open line of communication with the employee association and work with you guys so that policies are followed and the chain of command is followed, so that we can resolve everything at the lowest level possible.
Are we gonna have a, like, down the road, I don't, everything went out with COVID, everything, but, you know, like, a little pep club type thing with staff and our parents, guardians, Lumini, and all that other, some down the road? I think it was, I know we tried before a while back. Yeah, Lumini.
I mean, we should take all precautions, because we do have a lot of support within the school, because we've had many people approach us for our warrior gear. And it's just a matter of getting that and being able to give it out or sell it to go back into a fund for children so they could be supported. I mean, we should. We have a lot of alumni that are very still proud of the school from the mission days all the way up till now. And to see that support continuously grow for our children, you know, I don't see why we couldn't. It's just a matter of planning and getting there. And because we've noticed that as the association, you know, maybe we should take the lead in that part and start it going along with some of the monitors in the school that are leading programs such as student council, or you know, anybody that has pride in the school, to let these kids know that, you know, you are a part of legacy, and there is legacy here at St. Francis. So yeah, that's something that we could pick up.
Thank you again.
We need bonds.
Shake that
Oh,
motion.
Mr. Joe.
And Lou, don't forget Lou. RC Education, I wait till Donna comes here, so I make her report, and Education Liaison, that's Donna, I didn't hear nothing from the department. No, you heard anything from them? Nah, I'll hold up on that. 2.2, Business Matters Report.
Okay, so in your packet, I gave you the monthly financials. I won't read them all since they read on the first day. I'll give you a test. We have the expenditure report for all the funds for the month of September, the payroll spreadsheets for pay periods 4 to 5, the general fund, VA, grant account, employee loan, health insurance, the CD options, and the insured cash sweep account. They're all listed in there. I also have, I don't know if she included it in here, but I have the audit draft report that I need approval for, so we can get that finalized and submitted, because it is late. Marlene sent it out to all you guys. Lou, me, and Sandra met on some of the things from there, and so I'll need approval from you guys tonight for that, to get that finalized. Any questions?
How was the funds looking so far? They good?
Yeah, so in that, the ICS way on the bottom, insurance cash sweep, that's where all the VIE funds are drawn into. And that's where we're sitting at, that amount there. That's not including those 2 amendments we just signed as well.
You know,
Yeah. Since you blocked me.
you got me lost.
Since you blocked me,
You know
I
that.
know.
Is there anything they should take note on in the audit?
No, it's just the same findings as previously. The material weaknesses it shows in that letter are the inventory control fixed assets again, but we've got Lou and Everett on it currently, doing physical inventory at year end and beginning of year. I guess that's a material weakness, so they've already done the year end last year. The other thing was so that's that. And then what Joe's doing now with the debarment and stuff, they didn't previously do that when they sign purchase order or do their purchase orders and get quotes. They don't go through that debarment list, but since Joe's been back on staff, he's been doing that. So we're updating everything that's been wrong in the past. And those are the only 2 major findings there. The procurement and suspension department and the fixed assets inventory control.
I thought you were big on that inventory.
Well, you know the cell phone debacle, so, but we're already on that, yeah.
Any other questions? No, I can approve to approve the audit report. Nicole moves. Second. Georgia? All in favor of the motion, raise your hand. 1, 2, 3, 4. Donna? Four, 0, 1 not voting. 401, motion carried.
So if you don't have any further questions for me, I gotta get back to checking payroll and timesheets. So these guys can get paid.
No, he said, hold up. He said, this is what
I'm gonna get stung by a bee.
Thank you. Superintendent report.
So we have all the directors here, and I hope you all had a chance to read over their reports that were sent out. A lot of great things happening in all departments, and we're truly happy to see gifted and talented services back up and going after 3 years not going. So that is a really big plus for us. And she can talk about that unless there's something else. But my main focus right now is the SPED policy, and it's the third reading that we need to do with Dana to accept it, so we'll have her do that.
Well, last time you didn't have any questions for me, so is there any this time? I didn't have no corrections to that you wanted made or anything, so.
Say, Nino, just remember the place out in the homeschool one?
Oh, yeah, hold on.
That's
Yes.
all I got, 'cause other than that,
So they're good to go? Yeah. So we'll do the copies, the consultants that help do this, they'll make 6 copies, and then we'll get the online version of it, and I'm gonna try to make the little booklets.
well, that's the other question is, are we gonna, remember, like, the rights or to that associated, that company will be like
Yeah,
anybody else,
yeah,
or?
yeah.
You know
No,
what I mean?
this is our,
According to what the lawyer said, so I just. All right.
you want me to do my report now, or?
I think the main thing is the reading, and we just need a motion to accept SPED policies now.
Any questions for Dana? Not anything, motion for approval, schedule report, and policies. What's the third reading? George moves, need a second? Nicole, all in favor, motion, raise your hand. 1, 2, 3, 4. Donna? Voting 4, opposed 0, 1 not voting, motion carried.
The next point of focus is the elementary and the middle school, high school amendments to their handbooks. I'll have Richard go up first.
Oh, good evening, everybody. I've always wondered why Mr. Knowles sits over by himself.
You guys call him George now.
Steve Joseph. You all got the handbook? I went to handbook. Just a couple of changes on page 4 and 5. We took out, we put down number 4, kitchen and commons area procedures for lunch. As you know, we're feeding in the classroom now. So we've taken that out. That and on top of page 5. Okay. And we're on another thing is on page 6, excused absence. Now we want to put in there that the COVID, if we send them home, the principal send them home, then that should be a school decision, they should be excused. So we have done on COVID-19 and other disease certified by a doctor. We change that to that. So that was in there before COVID, excused absence. Okay, and page 7, under nurse's discretion, second sentence reads, if the nurse is absent, then the family advocate will make the necessary. We don't have a family advocate.
It could be the mental health director or the school social worker. We could have those.
Okay, you want me to, because we're changing that to the principal You're doing an administrator, so.
Sure,
what do
however
we-
you want to do it.
Okay, we'll do that then. Take the key out, thank you. Other than that, that's it. Just some 3 changes and trial lab notice today, and it's good to go with your approval. If any more questions. When we go down to the council, education committee, this is what we present, everything's in here, the due process and everything that the academic truancy, everything, so this one was presented to the education committee when we go down. So, no questions.
Any questions? Any approval or any action?
Yes, to approve the amendments, because you guys already approved it after 3
Okay.
readings, so just an amendment.
There's 2 minutes.
3 amendments.
Okay, motion to approve the 3 minutes. Georgia moves, need a second. Nicole? All in favor of the motion, raise your hand. 1, 2, 3, 4. Donna?
Yes.
5. Opposed, 0. Not voting, 0. Motion carried.
Deb Boyd is going to do the high school, middle school amendments.
You have the high school one as well. I wasn't at the other one with Gina. We have 3 proposed changes. The first one is on page 16, student vehicles in the high school manual. It was kind of lengthy. We do have some issues with that, students turning in their keys, so we kind of shortened it. Students will turn their keys in the front office when they arrive at school, and students who have more than 1 car must get more than 1 pass. And that's basically for student vehicles. Right now, one of the issues that we have with student vehicles is driver's license. Students coming driving cars with no license. First thing we do is call parents. And of course, we collect the keys at the beginning of the day. And they get them back from me at the end of the day. Any questions on that one?
Do you have a special place for just the students to park?
We do,
That's what they,
in the front, over by the elementary school. Well, it's both places then, because they park, yeah. Because in the front, where we can see from the front there, and then some of them do park in the back. Because we can see them when they come in the morning from the front office windows. So, and then these guys, well, they pretty much give you guys the keys when they come in, and then they bring their keys.
Can I ask you a question? Do they have to have proof of insurance? Because if they hit a car or something, then do they have to show proof of insurance?
That's not on there. It's because of the charge of the car.
Just a question, let's say or a comment or do we have like a waiver or something, if something happens, if we give the school, and the keys back to the student, and something happens on ground or even school grounds or vendor or something, or something like that, or have the attorney or something?
We don't have on the place.
My concern is you saying these some of these kids showing up that don't have any sort of permit or driver's license, give you the keys. And while you call the parents, which I think is appropriate, but then if you give the keys back to them to drive home, all of a sudden that could be an issue of liability for St. Francis. So I'm wondering if you shouldn't release the keys back to somebody that doesn't have a proper, whether it's a school permit or whatever type of operating permit that they have. If they don't have that, you need to probably just give it to the parents, make the parents kind of pick it up. And the other thing we're talking about is some sort of, you know, where you get possession of keys. Obviously, you're not doing anything, but there could become allegations of something missing or stolen or whatever from their vehicles. I wonder if we need to get them to sign something or have some sort of locked container box that they deposited in. So just to limit access, so we can say it wasn't us because it was locked in here, we didn't steal it or whatever it was, just to eliminate any potential conflict there.
I understand what you're saying. Right now, we have been working with Becky's program because students have coming to us that don't drive anymore because they don't have a license, about how do I get a driver's license. So then they're requesting that, asking if we can take them to get a driver's license with, you know, their parents or whatever. And so we are providing manuals for them. That's what the school does in our part.
Yeah, I think that's okay.
But I don't think we should be, you know, taking them. We can, but you know, we haven't. It has been an issue since the beginning of the year, and it's you can ask Lee and, you know, Gabe. So it's like, and we do have to call parents, you know, right off the bat, and so, but it's slowed down because we told them, hey, you can't bring your car no more, you don't have a license. And the parents, so.
Good.
Thank you. Any else?
Electronic devices, page 20. As you look on page 20, there's really nothing there. There's only one sentence. And because we're having such huge issues in social media, telephone that's come to the point where, you know, we're possibly thinking about gathering cell phones again. And since the first quarter started, because a lot of the issues with the fights and other issues are because of social media. And, but at the same time, some of the teachers use them for instruction. You know, and so what we're doing right now, as you can see in the red part, is that the classroom teachers have the discretion to collect the phones, and we're now ordering cell phone lockers, but we're waiting to hear from Mr. Noah if that's doable. In regards to that, but we're gonna get those try to get them for each classroom. And then right now there are 3 teachers that do collect them, and that helps a lot. But it's not fair to the rest of the teachers when only 3 do that. So therefore it does become an issue. And that's my department that I deal with, so I know how big an issue it is. But I think those lockers will help quite a bit if the teachers utilize them. Any suggestions on that? You will get the paperwork.
I'll look forward to it.
The next one, the last one, there's only 3, is the suggested changes on middle school, high school, challenging environment. That's on page. the reason we changed it because it's quite lengthy, and that's for the principals. There's a bunch of the red that has been. But the suggested changes are just shortening it up, requesting a meeting with the teacher and principal, have the meeting within 5 days of the request. After the meeting, the teacher, parent, and guardian will come to an understanding of how the class will become academically challenging for the student, or if other alternatives need to take place. The time frame will range from 2 to 4 weeks. At this time, the parent, guardian, student, and teacher feel that the student is not being challenged enough. Then the parent, guardian can request to meet with the academic counselor and the respective principal. And those are the only changes the middle school, high school had. And I can take back any concerns, suggestions to Gina, but Teresa is right here, so. But I do work with a lot of families, so I get a lot of these concerns, especially because it's in the handbook.
Do we still have something set up with SU and we did in the past as far as?
There has been in the past, but I can't speak to that. I'm not the principal, so Gina's not here tonight, so I don't know what.
I believe something can still be set up with them for the next semester if they have all of their requirements done. Then look at letting them dual enroll.
And we had that for 3 or 4 years, or maybe longer than that before I came then, because we did it then, so. Yeah.
Any other questions for Deb?
The electronic devices, and I know kids all have phones, so if you could work on that quickly.
I probably already sorry.
But you don't know how to do
But it truly is, social media, I mean, it's out there everywhere. And in the school, it's huge, and it comes with a lot of issues, that. I do have a few things I would like to share with you, in regards to. Oh, did this one read? Okay. Oh, I went right for you. Sorry. My job is a dean of students, and I do talk to a lot of students, and I get the job of sending them to ISS. But in the course of that, we develop that relationship. So I get, notes back or comments back. I got some back that really kind of, reached out to me, and I wanted to just read a few of them to you if you don't mind. And one was how I ended up in ISS is I guess I was bored in Mr. Guess's room, so I grabbed a green construction paper and I wrote some things on there that I shouldn't do. I was dumb, I didn't mean it, but I was in ISS for a day. I got my work done in here, and I was told, I got my work done in here like I was told, and I guess I truly learned my lesson, because ISS ain't my thing. But I did all of my work, my homework, and I'm ahead of the game. And here's one more. What it's like to be in ISS. Well, it's like being in jail, but it's less worse. Because You get to eat, you get to go to your meals, and you get to go to the bathroom when you need to. And I got out faster than I got in. And the last one, she gave it a grade. I mean, it's like, my experience in ISS was okay. I feel like I can get my work done better in here since there aren't many distractions. I tend to get distracted and sidetracked off in class. Wade, he's the ISS guy. Wade, make sure you're comfortable and not at all troubled when you walk into the room. The punishments are actually reasonable and nice. My experience is a 10 out of a 10. I mean, student support, I mean, it's just, you know, that's what we're all about, but sometimes you get things like this that just reach out to you, so I just had to share. Thank you.
Thank you.
We'll wait for a third one on this because of that added things that we have to. So we'll do that final one on this one, on these changes. So for the next one, we'll ask for a word motion on that. I'd like Alan to come up to discuss his Veterans Day celebration. And welcome back, Wachipi.
So we're working with Legion Post 125. They're going to supply soup, fried bread, and mojapi for the meal. They asked if we could supply the drinks. Dwayne actually sent me a list of all the veterans. We probably got some more now, but this one a few years ago. It was really awesome. I forwarded that on to the Legion Post. They also wanted to let me that list too. So it's looking pretty good. There is one change to it, and that would be that Dale will probably be the arena director, and Pat will still be the alcohol. So we're making progress here. Everything will be set up by the end of this week. I just got to make some more phone calls and talk to George over there to get some funding. Pretty curious. Anyway, so it's looking pretty good. Aside from that, did some testing with middle school and high school in the Lakota language area. Found that 47 were tested with middle school, 49 with high school. And we found high school was averaging probably about 80 out of 130. And middle school was averaging 70 out of 130. So there's some pretty high scores there though. It shows that there are some students that come from very traditional families, and they still have a Lakota in the homes. And it's also the same with middle school. You can see that too, the rise with some of the middle school kids. So I'm just wondering if it would be possible to test all of them rather than just the ones in the Lakota language class. If that's possible. I'll work with
We
the
should, just so that we get the picture.
The whole picture, yes,
Yeah.
exactly. It does have audio on the test. You download the Moat for it. We'll just continue working on this, and I'm going to get it set up with the principals, start with Teresa. We're going to get them all tested over there, and then go back to the high school and see where the whole crew is at, rather than just the ones in language class. It's looking good. It's the first time this data has ever been collected, so it's really telling, and it's pretty awesome in a lot of areas. So once I get the whole thing done, we'll start with elementary next, but it's going really well. And I'm looking forward to this Wachipi. Dwayne's going to be helping out. Dwayne's doing open prayer. Danny's going to do her princess with. Princess address. But no, it's looking really good, and I really can't wait till we get all the data so I can show you guys everything. So it's just going to be a couple more weeks, and then we'll be fired up. I even put a one for the adults to take. We did it at the retreat, but I made some adjustments, made it a little easier, and Star still felt it.
You're not supposed to say you won't identify. Got all the slang right now. Give me props for that.
Not even weird. Long day, do all that, a couple of all days in there.
Long game.
It was written on law dialect.
Chinatown dialect? But aside from that, yeah, as soon as I get all the data, I'd love to present again on all of it once we get it all. So, any questions?
You're welcome to come to the Wachipi. It's a welcome back and to honor our veterans. Hope you do a really good one.
Danny will have her tiara.
Do you have a vaccination card for seniors only or non-groups? What do you do for the public that's?
That's a good question. We're going to do all the COVID precautions. Unless just take the fully vaccinated.
We could do that because, I mean, we have that expectation for our staff and for, our athletes. So we could say if you are coming on, you need to be fully vaccinated.
Yeah, and just
for the safety of our students.
card them at the door.
Yeah. So we can make that change.
Yeah. Totally. We'll card them.
Card.
Or card them.
Oh, huh. All right. Well, see you guys at the pause.
Yeah, Chicago.
Leave come up, so leave. Because we did our first drill, and then maybe we can discuss a little bit about what we need to do for break.
Hello, board. Welcome to Direct Municipals. Conducted our first active shooter drill yesterday. Tried to be proactive with our parents and put out an all-call to give them a heads up. Had a debriefing at the end of it. I asked the principals if any parents had called, and there were none. So I think I felt comfortable with things as the drill was going to go on. We learned one big thing yesterday in the drill, and that is we need more drills. And we need to do some silent drills. We were instructed on how that was done by the RSTPD. So overall, it was a struggle with the drill, but that's why they're drills. We're there to make sure that the next go around we get better. And every month we'll do a drill, and some months we'll have 2 drills in them. This drill here is one of the big drills that we do, and based off of the event itself. So, we try to be proactive, not reactive. We try to stay ahead of the game, and that's why we do the drills. Springtime comes, we'll do the big drill where we actually leave campus and go to a safe place. It's a bomb threat drill. So it was elementary did their drill. High school, middle school had their drill. We had some issues getting out and getting the communication going, but like I said, these drills are geared to help us get better at what we do. So with that being said, more drills for St. Francis Indian School. And I believe, and I truly believe that as we practice these drills and these skills, things will be a little bit more comfortable, and people know their roles when all this happens. We're going to make some changes to the drills on how it is broadcast out on school grounds to make sure that we hit every building and employee. My main thing as school safety director is to protect all staff, students. I'll tell you, my main focus are those buildings over there. And O&M, admin, transportation, we're there to try to help protect you guys, but there's only 5 of us. So it gets a little intense trying to do these drills based off of everybody's roles and activities. We had our debriefing yesterday, and I felt that based off of the action that we just need more drills. We just need to move forward and keep doing them until we get up to where I feel comfortable, administrators feel, the command centers feels comfortable about things. That's about where it's at right now. So as a school safety director, I'm in charge of making sure all that happens, and I'm trying to do my best at what we're doing. So I'm hoping that our students, our staff, parents, visitors, anybody that comes to our school, we try to make sure that they feel safe and our environment is sound for them. So we don't have to, we go through these drills to prepare for things like that. So these drills are just based off of what happens in our school. They could happen at basketball events or anything. So drills are a big thing, and we will work very hard to make sure that these drills are done properly and carried out the way they're supposed to be carried out, and we will feel comfortable when that happens. So that's kind of where it's at right now. Anybody have any questions? Yes, Dwayne.
Our building over there, we only knew because I took a word back from my staff, and we waited for a call that it's a, I just heard a true active shooter, but we waited till 1:30, then finally reminded ourselves we might as well barricade. And then nobody called us to, we're all clear. So somebody was pounding on our door, nobody wanted to answer it. And we left Alan out of his office. He was out of one by now. So nobody gave us an all clear also. So we like to get included in that.
Yep, and that's why we conduct these drills, is to make sure that things like this get corrected. Things are happening. So Dwayne, we definitely will work on that, to make sure that that's part of it.
Yeah, they were actually, Wayne and them were all barricaded in there for about an extra hour. He answered the door with his knife. I was like, "Whoa, look, chill out."
Yeah, chairs up
Okay, well, yeah. No, but yeah. So I was like, yeah, the drill's been over for about an hour.
Yeah, so that's part of doing the drills, Dwayne, is making sure that things like that don't happen when the real event comes. So, as I can tell the security staff, I say it when we're at the retreat or I have all the staff in front of us. We prepare for the worst and hope for the best.
It was hard keeping Vida quiet for a full hour. She loves to talk.
Well, yeah, so part of that is, like I said, making sure these drills happen, and we go through our analysis for each one to determine what needs to change. Communication was a big thing in our debriefing yesterday.
I'm in favor of the drills because as a people, we get this mindset, what's not going to happen here, what's not going to happen here. The more practice you go through. I like the part where earlier you did the code orange.
Oh yeah.
Down in Kilgore, what happened down there, and just the people aware of what's the code orange, and got notice that this is what's going on. But the more drills, practicing to get people ready, I guess.
Yeah.
Getting that back in mindset that it's statistically happen here.
Yeah.
A lot of times people think, no, it's not going to happen here. It happens everywhere else, but not here.
You know, I think the Red Lakes, things happen right there and stuff. So It's real. I mean, you know, just because we're in Indian country doesn't mean we're immune from it. It can happen anywhere. You know, that being said,
Keep up the good work. Just keep working at it, you know, we're not perfect, so
we will be
learn as you
one of
go.
these days. Oh, is that it, guys?
You mentioned in your report that you needed a female security. I thought we had SRO, or did she leave, or I mentioned in your report that you
She's
needed.
kind of been reassigned for a while. So, yeah, we are, I really hate to talk about it.
We'll discuss it in executive.
Okay.
Is that it?
Thank you, David.
Thank you.
I'll have federal programs come up, and then he'll do the school boundary thing too, Joe, to discuss the school boundary areas and then federal programs.
Good evening. Okay. The issue with the boundary is still with us. What we'd like from the board is some guidance. The administrators would like to proceed to determine the school boundaries. We've got documents galore which would indicate which pieces are involved. At this point, I don't want to say hire somebody, but determine what the best way would be, whether it is hiring a professional surveyor, and then figure out where the boundaries are. There's been some old documents that indicated there are actually survey points around the campus. So if we can relocate those things and determine official boundaries of the school. Now, that's a separate issue from who owns the property, which at this point still seems to indicate that we do. So that would be another issue to proceed forward on and get it to, at this point, I would say a professional. Whether that's a real estate, I don't know what the terminologies would be, somebody that is, knows all the legal ins and outs of boundaries, or not the boundaries, but the title property issues. And then the final point would be the whole process seemed to be aimed at trying to turn the land over to federal ownership, which at this time I don't know why that was being done, and I haven't been able to determine why that would have been. The only thing that seems to come to my mind is that when the BIE or BIA determines that, you know, they're going to help you build something, they want to own the property. And I believe that's why it was trying to be transferred to the feds, the federal ownership, in order to fulfill that piece of it so that they could build on federal property. I don't know what the current rules are, and that would be something that would need to be investigated. If we want another building here that the BIE would help us with, what their requirements are. So those are the three issues that we would, I guess, like you're okay to proceed on and make some headway to report back.
Any questions, comments? Donna?
Do you have maps? Are you in there?
In
our package?
No,
No, okay.
we've got a document that is like 150 pages long,
Oh,
but we do have maps. Currently, I am also credited with owning half of the church. So, yes, we would like to verify some of these things so that I know which half I own.
Because this lease is coming up too, And, you know, on some of this stuff, it shows that we own it, but there's never been a clear title, and I think Fred could attest to that, how long we've been questioning what our boundaries are here, what's actually RES, what's actually St. Francis, and some things were brought to our attention from the office in winter. Those came, some documents came on the boundary lines of St. Francis, and it seems like we own more than we were under the impression, led to believe, and yes, it looks like we own half the church. And even the land that this sits on, and we're paying a big, hefty thing to come rent this, but we may even own the land, and there's some land that they sit on that we may own too. So why are we paying a lease if they're on some of our land and we're not making them pay leases? So those are the things we need to clear up, and we just want to get your approval to move forward, and we can work with our lawyer too and give him all the documents that we compile.
This also, it goes also directly to trying to build up the infrastructure in the back here for new teacher housing. Dormitory, any new building project.
O&M building.
And the O&M building. In particular, especially your easement rights for utilities to come in. And actually, that is what initiated the whole issue, if you will.
What would take a surveyor, let's meet with RES then, to kind of see what they have on hand and what we have?
What we have, I'd like the Bureau to come out and survey it if they can. That's a possibility.
Just clear it up once and for all.
Clear it up, see which way to proceed. Because we're going to do that infrastructure, we need to know what can we do.
Yeah, that's ours.
That's all I have.
So we can just get a motion.
Nicole moves, you second, Georgia. All in favor, raise your hand. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Welcome, Skeeter. Welcome, Donna. 6 opposed, 6 for, opposed 0, not voting 0. Motion carried, 6, 0, 0. Thank you, Joe.
For the athletic activities, I'll save that for executive session and have Jay come in with that, if that's okay with you guys. Is there anything else that you would like to discuss with with the directors that are here? Anything?
I don't know if it's for IT, but let's say a student was sent home due to COVID related. Do they get a laptop for 10 days, or how does that work with homework or schoolwork? You can go up to par and get school.
Principals, maybe you can, Teresa?
We did have a student that we did have to send home in the middle school, so we did work with the IT department, and what they gave us was one of the Chromebooks we used from last year that was returned, and it sufficed. It was able to do the work at home, and then the student came back to brought the Chromebook.
You guys don't want to fall behind, I guess. I don't know. Had a few tests already, so.
And Beacon Elementary, you're sending packets, right?
Yep.
They sent packets for elementary. And high school, Brett?
They do have them available at the high school. Send them, the cut stuff.
Yeah, the hospital. Anything else?
Is there hotspots available?
I'll let Pete answer that because we did discuss this when we first had our first test with quarantine, so about hotspots and Chromebooks.
Yes, the original hotspots, we didn't get very many back, and there's not enough in case the whole school shut down. But we were in contact with AT&T, and we have it set up so that we can get new hotspots. It's just a matter of when the administration wants to pull the trigger on that, and they can get them to us. I think right now, we didn't want to go right away and be paying for hotspots and not having them being used. And so But it's all set with AT&T, and we just gotta give them the go-ahead, and they'll ship hotspots to us. And, they're pretty quick about it. They usually overnight stuff. We can get it the next day or in 2 days. So we're set there.
We want to stay face-to-face as much as possible because we do know how much our students lost in that time and how many did actually get online. So face-to-face is the best, is what we know.
How's the mental health going? How's the, this student take this, any feedback or any, how's the cooperation between the students and your staff, I guess? Are we moving forward a bit, or are we
We're,
getting robots?
no, I mean, not too bad. We're needing to just order a few more things. Our curriculum hasn't gotten here, which is with Live 5. But we do have, Tony Tenfingers in the middle school doing wellness, and then there's Noella in the elementary that does wellness, and Wanda in the elementary that does wellness classes with all the students. We need to kind of figure out where we can fit in the high school to do some wellness classes though at this point.
Every student is assigned a counselor. Every
Yes.
student in the school is assigned one.
Whether they receive counseling services or just like a check and connect type thing, just to make sure that, you know, things are going smoothly for them for anything that they need. There are 76 parents that decline services, but everyone else has consented to services.
I can't remember elementary enrollment, but I know high school has 196, middle school is 146. I can't remember what elementary is.
215, I think, was the last.
Thank you. I just want to give a little shout out to Giving Talent. I like their theme, I guess, the meaning of your life is to find your gift. The purpose of life is to give it away.
Thanks.
It's pretty awesome.
We've gone, this second quarter, we've started our full classes now. So I'm lacking 2 teachers, but David Buckley has stepped in to do K through 5. And we're doing some studio time and some tech stuff for gifted. And I have stepped into the high school role, in which I'm pulling middle school twice a week and high school once a week right now. So today we really worked about on what leadership is all about and what we're going to do.
I see the Red Ribbon Week, that's good. That's awesome. Any other questions, comments? Donald?
I apologize for showing up late and,
Okay.
but I didn't see any stick horses out there. I thought it was Western Day and I was wondering who all was dressed like Western.
I took my boots off.
What's it?
Every time I say it was you.
Camouflage day.
Camouflage.
The kids had a lot of fun with Crazy Hair Day.
I saw that.
I was able to spray on my way off. I was red and sparkly.
If we get pictures back, we can put it on Facebook.
Did you fix that? I did fix it. I just let it go.
Any other questions, comments? Good job, guys.
One more thing, Dave, I just wanted to point out that I have really stepped up as a person that works here at the school. We are lacking a certified teacher in high school and a certified teacher in the middle school. So I managed to do six classes in the high school and 6 classes in the middle school. and get good grading and lessons and within the last 5 days. So I am helping as much as I can.
Thank you. Thank you. Is that it?
That's it. That's executive.
Now, speak food. Take a little break. Yeah. You're excused. Thank you for your hard work, guys.
We're back.
Hold us up.
8:05 now.
Okay, we're back.
Live, in color. Okay, first, coming out of the session, we have some motions. Entertain motion for approval. Athletic Director Jay Clemmer's request. Nicole moves, second by Dolores. Georgia. All good motion to the agenda. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Opposed 0. Not voting 0. I didn't eat it. Sugar's low. Oh, there is 5 on it. That's 6. Oh, sorry. My bad. 500. 500. Okay, motion for approval. Names of, okay, Dolores Swan for Face Adult Educator and Rhea Whitehead for Face Preschool Teacher. Georgia. Second, Nicole. All in favor of the motion, raise your hand. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Opposed 0, not voting 0. Motion carried. Entertain a motion for Alvin Esteron, sophomore class moderator. Nicole. Second. Georgia. All in favor of the motion, raise your hand. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Opposed 0, not voting 0. Motion carried. Entertain a motion for the substitute list. Carol Kara, Lindy Singler, and John Horman. Motion for approval, Nicole. Second, Georgia. All in favor, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Opposed 0, not voting 0. Motion carried. High school boys basketball coach, head coach, Troy Linderman, assistant coach, Nora Anderson, freshman assistant coach, Philip Valandra. Nicole. Second, Georgia. All in favor, motion, raise your hand. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Opposed 0, not voting 0. Motion carried. Entertain motion for approval of elementary girls basketball coach, Humboldt Pilsenside. Motion for approval, Georgia. Second, Nicole. All in favor, raise your hand. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Opposed 0, not voting 0. Motion carried. Entertain motion for approval, Lima Literature, head girls basketball coach. Head girls varsity basketball coach, Georgia. Second, Nicole. All in favor, raise your hand. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Opposed 0, not voting 0. Motion carried. Entertain motion for approval, Cinnamon Jensen, special ed job coach. Nicole. Second, Georgia. All in favor, raise your hand. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Opposed 0, not voting 0. Anything, got it, Lee? Anything motion for adjournment? Nicole. Second.